How can AI save you 10 hours per week as you scale your business as an entrepreneur couple? So most likely, if you are seeing this, you and your significant other either run a business together or you each have separate businesses. And my guess is you could benefit from having more time to work on the business versus in the business, to spend more time with each other and your family, and to pursue the passion that you feel called to live on this earth. Am I right? If the answer to that is yes, we're here to propose that AI could be a solution to help you free up more time as your business scales, so that way you actually get the freedom that you desire. And we're not just saying that, we actually brought on an expert here who knows how to integrate AI specifically as a couple in business to help you free up at least 10 hours per week. His name is Steven Diaz. He's a friend of ours. He's grown an 8-figure company alongside his wife, and he's going to talk to you about how you as a couple in business can strategically use AI.
Yeah. All right. So before we bring Steven on, I do want to let you know, Steven is actually going to be speaking at Couplepreneurs Live 2026 in April. Yes. That is our live in-person event that is happening in South Florida at a beautiful oceanfront resort. So today's going to be a little bit of a teaser of what Steven is going to cover at that event. But just so you know, today is the last day to save $200 on your ticket to come to Couplepreneurs Live 2026. So if you are interested in that, just type event below. We'll get you over all the details on how you can save that $200. But again, today's the last day. So make sure if you're interested, you type event and we will get you over all the info you need.
And if you wait after today, you can still come. You just won't save the $200. So that's right. Why not save $200 if you can? So that being said, you ready to bring our guest on?
Yes. All right. So we are going to bring on Steven Diaz. Steven and his wife, Chelsea, have built an 8-figure business together, transforming what started as a side hustle into one of America's fastest growing companies today. Together, they have become 2 Comic Club X award winners for crossing 8 figures in revenue. They've also earned a spot on the Inc. 5000 list of America's fastest growing private companies, ranking number 148 overall and number 2 in education. We are so happy to bring on Steven Diaz.
Woohoo! Steven, what is up, guys? Man? So
how's it going, everyone?
Yeah. So everybody that's watching, go ahead and leave some love in the comments. Welcome Steven to the virtual stage here before we welcome him to the physical stage at Couplepreneurs Live 2026. And we have some questions that we wanted to ask today to give everybody watching a preview of what they can expect at Couplepreneurs Live. And if you stay to the end here today, you are going to have some actionable takeaways that you could use to integrate AI into your business to free up more time, which is pretty sweet.
All right.
Ariel, go ahead. Take it away.
All right. So, Steven, I'm curious, what was that big aha moment for you when you realized that AI can really transform how you and your wife, Chelsea, grow businesses together?
For sure. Yeah. Happy to be here, guys. Excited to be on stage with you at Couplepreneurs Live. We'll be able to go way more in depth on the topic, hands-on, actually maybe even build some AI tools that can run inside your business. But for us, like, we weren't that into AI, to be honest. We just were focused on serving our clients, building a company. And as you do, like as a family first kind of mission-based entrepreneur, it's just like, you do everything for the clients first. And that's where we kind of first got into AI, just started dabbling with it. But, you know, you heard the highlight reel, but what the stat you don't hear is that 3 out of 4 businesses that hit that Inc. 5000 list, right? That's the list of the 5,000 fastest growing privately held companies in America. 3 out of 4 of those businesses actually fail within, I think it's 5 years of hitting the list. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
And I know it firsthand because we were one of those high growth businesses that almost went bankrupt, actually, not too long after hitting the list. And, you know, as you grow a big business, you have a big team. We had about 120 people on our team. And, you know, at that point, now you have a 6-figure overhead every time you're doing payroll. And, if things change, like, it's like the numbers move so drastically. And so how we actually got into AI was not out of this place of like, oh, this is cool, this is going to help us make money. It was really like, how can we survive? Because in the year when we were taking some financial hits, you know, we started to just burn cash. We ended up having to lay off about 100 team members. And I'll never forget, like, the Monday being on Zoom with my team and telling them, like, we're out of money. We're not just out of money as a company, but we're in the negative substantially. And I don't know what else to do because we had laid off tons of team. These are friends of mine. These are, you know, you grow a company, you're able to attract awesome talent, have amazing team members. It was a super painful year. And we had done all that. We cut as hard as we thought we could, you know? And I remember telling the team, like, this paycheck is your last. Like, we'll figure out a way to serve these clients and keep going in some form or fashion, even if we have to do it for free. But I can't ask you ethically to stay here knowing that there's no more money, you know. There's not just no more money, but we're negative, you know. It's going to take us a while to get out of this hole. And so I told everyone to quit and, you know, get another job. Like, you got families to feed, but like, I'll be back here, take a week off, and I'll be back here next week if you want to come figure it out, you know. And I never forget just getting on the Zoom the next week. You know, I thought it'd be me and like, you know, my wife and like one other person or two other people. And you know, as you do, you're the host, you see people come into the waiting room. I just started to tear up because one after one, like most of our team members came back to go forward with us and to serve the people we serve in our business. Like, you know, we have a heart for these people and they're willing to do it for no pay, essentially. So we moved everyone to minimum wage, us included. And we basically we need to find a way to like right size the company and rebuild in a stronger way with healthier margins that can go the distance. And one of the things we say a lot in our organization is there's no problems without possibilities attached. And it was in that valley kind of season. Maybe some of you watching this have been through seasons like that. It's often in those seasons when you're kind of not on the high of the mountaintop, but you're in the valley, that you get the download, the strategy, the something that's like going to take you to the next mountaintop. And it was in that valley season that we started using AI like we're using it today. And it was like, this isn't just about it's cool and it's, you know, hot technology right now. It was like, how can we do what 120 people did with now like 12 people, you know? And that's where we started getting to AI. And it really was a thing that helped our business get out of that situation, helped us grow way healthier margins. And now we're able to serve our clients at a higher level. They're getting better results using AI. But it took kind of hitting that pain point. And my big point of being on stage with you guys and talking to you through this and even just coming live here is that if I can help you avoid the pain that we went through that year by just starting to lean into some of these things early, that's like my joy. Like, because what we went through, while I am thankful for the resilience and the notches on my entrepreneur belt, that year taught me, you know, I don't advise having to go through that level of intensity. And so AI can be really a true stabilizer for your business, and not just a stabilizer, but an amplifier of your impact. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I want to make sure I got that stat right. You went from how many employees down to 15? How many was that?
120. So basically 90%.
Wow.
Downturn in the business and staff and labor. Pretty wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that forced you to have to figure out, okay, how can we still operate and still do well without 90% of the staff?
Right.
And AI was the answer for that?
Yeah, and AI wasn't the reason we were laying people off. We were laying people off just because we couldn't afford, you know, to have that team size. And so essentially all of our teams taking on 10 times the work, you know. Now, of course, we had less clients at that time too, but AI became such a huge piece for like, okay, if we're going to rebuild this thing on a foundation that can actually go the distance and take some hits without just getting taken out, we need to do it in a way that's more AI first, right? Yeah. More like we don't need to be wasting human time on things that can be done by robots, right? And especially as couples in business, you know, you guys are all about this, we're all about this. Like, time freedom is such a huge thing for raising family, for your marriage. And so if there's any way we can do that by essentially, like, you know, buying back your time, that's kind of the popular phrase, but it's like, we can now do that for a fraction of the cost it used to be. I mean, I used to be preaching outsource and hire a team, which I love, you know, but I would say now we can think a lot differently and go, maybe you need some AI employees in your org chart this year, you know? And even if you're new to AI and that kind of scares you and like, I don't know, like, I'm not super technical, I definitely have some good news for you. And we'll walk you through some of the stuff at the in-person event to really make it easy. You know, we don't have time on today's call. my video went off. We don't have time on today's call to go into the technical, but come to this event because we'll get Build in with you. And I've seen people go from like, I'm a 2 on the 1 to 10 AI scale. Like, I don't know anything, to like, I'm a 7 and I have AI systems working for me, buying back my time, creating time freedom so that you can spend it more on the things you love with the people you love.
I love that.
Yeah, so good.
And that the heart behind that mission, giving couples time back, that freedom back to invest in each other, to invest in their family, to invest in, quite honestly, the things that they feel like they're called on earth to pursue without having being tied down to the minutia. AI can be a very great solution for that. So this is one of the many reasons, as everybody watching can tell, why we have Steven coming to Couplepreneurs Live 2026. He's not only going to share the tools that are working well, but we're going to help work with you to build these tools for your business. So that way you could walk away knowing that you are going to save at least 10 hours per week in your business going forward to free up time for the things that matter most. That being said, I know that AI is great. We all know the opportunities of AI. And if anybody listening has it, now you can see clearly how much leverage you can gain with it. But we've noticed there's a right way to use it and there's a wrong way to use it. So, Steven, I'm curious to hear from you. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see entrepreneurs making when it comes to attempting to integrate AI in their business?
Yeah. Man, I think like where a lot of people get stuck is like, actually they just came out with a study. I forget if it was Forbes or Harvard or something like that. And it was essentially like saying, I need to find this study to actually quote it, but the gist of it was like essentially like, people are working more with AI now because it is freeing up their time, but then they're literally just filling it with more hustle. You know? And that's a recipe for disaster, really. And I believe that rest is a technology that can actually help your business grow. And oftentimes I've seen the biggest ROIs in my business happen in my household first. And so I'm all about like, don't just free up time so you can like do more things, you know, use AI strategically to free up time so that you can invest in the long-term ROI things like your marriage, your family, having fun outside of business. I know that's not like the popular you know, social media thing. There's a lot of people just like grind, but that's not our world. And that's not these guys' world. Like we all know, we've seen people grind until they blow up their marriage, or they grind until their kids hate them because they were never around. You know, like at the end of your life, when you're looking back, like that's what success is not that you hit Inc. 5000 or you built the big business. It's that like the people around you who love you most, like are they love you because you loved them in the process. Like that's what it's about. So I think that's number one mistake, is that people free up some time and then they just literally add in more junk, more hustle. And it's not stuff that's really moving the needle. The second thing I would say is probably what I call like, I don't know, I don't have really levels laid out yet. Maybe I will by the event, but I would call this level 1 AI usage, which is basically like prompting. Right? This is where a lot of people live, where you have to be the one asking the tool for something and it's giving you back something. It's definitely saving you time. Like start there. That's great. Like if you haven't already replaced Google searching with like ChatGPT or Gemini, like that's step 1. Just like do that and it's going to definitely save you time. But it does take you signing in and asking a question and going back and forth. I would say the next level up is like autonomous AI agents that are running all the time. You know, I just had an event. I had an AI employee on our team who goes out and researches every morning at 6 a.m. top trending news in my industry, finds the stories, brings them back, sends them to me on Slack. I click a little emoji on the ones I like, and then it takes that and writes in my voice based on tons of knowledge of all my posts I've ever done, social media posts, and then it posts those on social media. And I had an event, it generated 100 leads for that event, an AI employee, with me basically clicking one emoji. You know what I mean? Like that's like level 2, where now the AI is working every day without you prompting it. And that's where we're going. It's going to get easier. That was a little bit of a technical build, but we might even build something like that for you guys if you come to this event. However, it's going to get to the place where like if you can do it on a screen, like probably an AI agent can do it, and it's going to only get easier. So if we can get ahead of that and start thinking that way, you're going to start having more of those level 2 kind of AI agents or employees working in your organization and just elevating your current systems team and all that stuff. So those are the two things. I did one last one I'll throw in there is just using really generalized AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, when you can build really specialized tools for your business. Again, another thing we will probably focus on when I'm in session with you guys. Like, let's build a custom AI for your business that's not giving you generalized advice, because you guys know how it is. Like, you go to Google and ask, like, I have a headache. What medicine should I take? And it's like, you have cancer, you're going to die, right? Like, AI is just that at another level. Yeah. And so you guys know with health stuff, you don't just like trust Google's like random things it tells you. ChatGPT sounds really smart, but it really is that. It's generalized kind of internet-based advice. And so there's ways to take your AI to the next level by giving it really specific knowledge about you and your business. And so it can actually use the power of AI plus specificity, which is I think where it really shines.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that. And I bet there's some light bulbs going off in the people who are listening to this, asking themselves, wait a second, is it really possible that I can generate leads from my business, fill out events, and build my business by hitting an emoji in Slack, and that's it? And I can have a team of AI agents working for me? Is that really possible? And you guys are hearing it firsthand. Not only is it possible, we want to invite you to the opportunity of actually experiencing that for yourself. That is why Stephen is going to be speaking at Couplepreneurs Live 2026, not just showing you how to pick the right tools for your business, but also working with you to help customize and set up those tools for your business based on your unique business and goals. That's why we have Stephen coming. And in addition to the fact that you guys can clearly see he's an awesome guy.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening and you're already thinking, whoa, we need to figure out how to strategically leverage AI to free up more time, just comment the word event, EVENT, in a comment below. And our assistant, Kayla, who is there as well, or us later, if you comment later, we'll get you over the details so that way you can sign up for the event. And if you sign up today, before the deadline, which is today, so what is this, February 17th?
February 17th.
At what time?
Midnight, so 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
$200 discount to come to the event goes away. So comment the word event if you want to get that info real quick to see if you want to secure your spot, because you could see probably this discussion alone could be worth 10 times, 100 times the investment to come.
Absolutely.
But we just would rather you see that in person and you decide for yourself.
Yeah. And Stephen, you're getting some love in the comments. Somebody said I love the biggest ROI happens in my household first. That's awesome. Other people saying this is going to be the event's going to be amazing. Can't wait. And somebody said, AI is my new best friend. Mila said, AI is my new best friend and has helped tremendously within our business. So awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take this up a notch, shall we? We talked
about
why not? Why not? We're here. We talked about how in general AI can help businesses, but since we are talking about couples who run businesses together, I'm curious, what are the unique ways that AI can actually help a couple in business that might be different than just standard entrepreneurs using AI?
That's good. Yeah. Me and Chelsea have always run businesses together. She's on maternity leave now. Otherwise, she's normally sitting next to me. I got another mic right here. And I would say some of the biggest things we have seen ROI in our business and relationship working like together is really communication around schedules. And so this is one of those things that it honestly takes a lot of time to be really intentional to plan your calendars together. But it was such a game changer for us. I don't know if we were on your podcast or you were on our podcast, but I feel like we talked about that on one of the podcasts, basically creating essentially dream weeks for each other, where it's like Chelsea has a dream week and I have a dream week. And these are things that, like, if we have these things in a week, like, it's a really life-giving week. If we neglect those things, like, it could be as simple as like, I just want to work out 3 times a week, or I want to have, like Chelsea wants to have a coffee date with a friend. Or a date with me, right? Like, there's certain things, like when you have a good week and you're like, man, it had those things in it. I was filling those buckets, personal and professional. And I'd personally start with personal. Like, I'd fill in the personal and then what the business work around you. But we essentially define dream weeks. And it's also really helpful for reducing the mental fatigue of like constantly oh, hey babe, can this thing happen on this day? It's like, I know Chelsea's dream week calendar, and I know that she does certain things on certain days. Her days are themed. And so I know, like, if I'm scheduling something, I schedule it on this day, and I don't even have to check with her because we share calendars. I know her schedule. She knows mine, and we can align stuff. So this is where, again, this is not an AI thing first. It starts with just actually mapping out dream weeks, communicating these things. We used to do a weekly just sync, like kind of like a business meeting for our family. And we would just sit down and look at 10 days out. But now with AI, we can connect kind of the dream week idea to our calendars and really quickly like optimize our schedules. When you're running, a big company, you're running a busy life. We got 3 kids under 6 years old. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of decision fatigue that can happen if you're constantly having to text each other just to stay in sync, And so without getting too nitty-gritty with specifics, that's one way I see is just taking AI to amplify current systems that are working for your marriage, for your relationship. Maybe you have a date night system, right? That's just like, hey, like me and Chelsea for a season, I always like say this and I literally forget it live. But I think there was a system called the 2-2-2. Have you heard of that? Where it's like every 2 weeks you go on a date, every 2 months you go on like an overnight, and every 2 years you go on like a 2-week like trip or something. Yeah. I don't know. We didn't like the 2-2-2, so we did like our own version. It was like 3-2-1 or something. And so we made up our own kind of system. Yeah. But I would come up with systems that work for you. Maybe that you have one for your marriage, and then I would use AI to kind of connect it and amplify it to create tools around it that can maybe schedule these things for you, book those things for you, kind of reduce the time that it takes to create those healthy habits in your marriage. Yeah. So again, that's kind of personal, kind of business, but that's where we're seeing it being used like in our marriage, in our business. Like I said, Chelsea's on maternity leave right now, so it's mostly family stuff we're focused on, but we are using it a lot in personal ways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, gosh, if you have AI that could take your dream week and reverse engineer what needs to happen and automatically sync your calendars and set your life up in a way that aligns you. What we've noticed, even in our work, being a couple in the last decade and also advising hundreds of entrepreneur couples, the synchronicity of aligning on their values, aligning on the direction, aligning on their vision, and aligning their schedules throughout the week, that tends to be one of the biggest challenges for entrepreneur couples. So are you saying, Stephen, that you could use AI to solve those problems? And if so, how fast can you solve those problems with AI?
Yeah, I would say AI is going to amplify your problems or solutions. So
I love that.
It's kind of like, the foundation has to be healthy, and then AI will amplify healthy. If the foundation has cracks on it, then we got to fix the cracks before we amplify. Otherwise, it's just going to be like AI dysfunction at scale. So if you're like, hey, babe, I want to do a date night every 2 nights, every 2 weeks or something, or every week, but then like you're just off golfing every night, it's just not going to work. Right. So I think that's a big reminder of like, sometimes we always want to come back to the human thing first, because people, I think, are outsourcing their thinking to AI. Right. And they're like, kind of AI is becoming not just a thought partner, but like it's just leading them. They're kind of like, well, you make the decision for me because it's easier. But the thing is, like, your family, your values, you want to have that first, then take that to AI and let it amplify those things instead of it telling you what it thinks your life should be. So that's what I think, like, we need to learn. Also, we need to model for our kids. They're going to grow up in a world where this stuff is so easily just kind of like being able to outsource how they think. And so we have to have family foundations that are built from a young age that they can stand on. And then, their robot assistants and things will amplify those values, right? It's weird to think about our kids and like the world they're going to grow up because of this technology, but I'm trying to get ahead of it with ours. We have a 6, a 3, and a 6-month-old. So they're young, but I'm already starting to train them on things when it comes to this, because I know it's coming.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we could add to the list of mistakes that a lot of entrepreneurs make with AI to just completely outsource all of your thinking or believe that AI can replace the human element. And as you guys are listening, I'm sure you could realize why Steven is going to be at stage or on stage with us at Couplepreneurs Live, because ultimately, if you and your partner can get aligned on your vision first, you can get aligned on your goals second, you can get aligned on your strategy third, and you know what your roles are that bring you the most energy and bring your expertise to the table. With that alignment set up, you can then use AI to amplify and enhance and speed up your results in every one of those areas. So at Couplepreneurs Live 2026, we are going to be walking everybody through a process to make sure that you and your partner are fully aligned on the next season of growth for the business. What does that look like for the business? What does that look like for you two as a couple? And how can you build out your dream week, so to speak, so that way you are both getting what you both want, and it doesn't have to feel like a compromise anymore. Once that is in place, Steve is going to be taking the stage, and he's going to show you how to customize AI tools to help make that dream life a reality, and do so in a way that is so much easier than literally ever before in history. Like it's wild that we live in this time that we live, where we have technology that can do these things. And I know, Steven, you're going to be sharing some pre-built AI systems at Couplepreneurs Live that people could use to make this a reality. So I'm wondering, could you give us just a little sneak peek about what these systems could do? If you could just throw out some examples, I think that'd be fun to do.
Sure. Yeah. No, yeah. We'll definitely give you guys access to some of our tools. So just a little tip: if you're going to build AI tools, don't just build them for yourself, build them to sell, right? So like when we were in the Valley, we started building these AI tools. Like we built a tool called the Tech Stack Reducer, right? So like when you grow a big company, you have a ton of tech, like ton of software subscriptions. Right. I mean, we were paying, I think 300,000 or something plus in just softwares, like, you know what I mean? And like at some point you're like, what's this like $50 a month thing I subscribed to 4 years ago that we're not even using? You know what I mean? Like I would say I'm a pretty good steward of the money, but just at scale, it's hard to track all those things. You got a lot of team members, people are buying software and forgetting about it, and then leaving the company, you know what I mean? So we built a tool to like put in all our software subscriptions, and it saved us it was like over $300,000 in tech savings by helping us identify like, oh, we have too many seats here. This does the same thing as this. We combine that. And it was a project, but like that tool identified tons of savings. So what I'm saying is we built that for ourselves, but then we're like, oh, this could be a cool product. And so we started selling tools like that and all the tools that we've built for our own company as a software. And we'll hook you guys up. Definitely. You can have access to the software if you come to the event. It's got 60 tools in there. My goal is to have 100 tools probably by the event in there, but we're talking about marketing tools. So like, you know, all of the stuff we've done in our business, we've created tools out of. So we've done tons of live events in person and virtual. So we've written hundreds of email sequences to get people to show up to live events. And so we built a tool based on all those email sequences that you can literally go to, tell it your event, and it'll write the whole entire email sequence leading up to the event, right? So that's just like one idea of a specialized tool, but we have stuff for writing video sales letters like VSLs or high converting videos for your business, writing ads for your business, generating imagery for your business. We have tools on the financial side. Of course, we went through a lot of financial stuff. So we have stuff on tools that you can upload your P&L to help you identify some of the pitfalls and the red flags that we fell into as a company before they happen. It'll actually analyze your industry and common margins in your industry and look for red flags before they happen. We have tools for hiring, tools for firing. We did a lot of that, and we've done a lot of both of those. So we have all of that stuff systematized, and AI tools that can help you if you need to hire a superstar, find a superstar, recruit someone, or maybe you need to have one of those hard conversations. We have tools that hold your hand through that. So we call it the 8-figure AI toolkit. It's essentially the tools that we built as we grew an 8-figure company. And now not only do I use them in our business like every day, we let other entrepreneurs use them in their business as a part of the toolkit. So we'll definitely hook you guys up if you come to the event. We'll get you playing with the tools, and we'll teach you not just like how I don't want to just give you the tools. I want to teach you how to build the tools, because you may love our tools. You may want to just go build your own tools for your own industry. And I would say if you do it, don't just build them for you, build them to sell too, because AI is hot right now, and you could serve a lot of people by learning a skill set of systematizing some of your stuff with AI.
Yeah, 100%. And for anybody listening, my question to you would be, do you want access to those same tools? If so, just type the word event, EVENT, below in a comment, and we'll get you over all the info for the in-person event where Steven is not only going to be going deeper into AI, but he's going to be revealing the tools and giving you a chance to check them out and test them out for yourself. And we're going to be talking about things that are not available anywhere else. So if you're interested in not only checking out the event and being there, but number two, saving $200 on your ticket, today is the final day to do so. So what do they do?
Yes. If you are interested in joining us at Couplepreneurs Live 2026 with the fabulous Steven, go ahead and comment event below. What we'll do is we'll send you over the details of the event as well as a discount code that you can use to get $200 off your ticket, which again expires today. So.
Yeah. And maybe a lot of you are hearing of Couplepreneurs Live for the first time. Like if Ariel, if I was to ask you what in the world is Couplepreneurs Live 2026, what would you say it is in a nutshell?
Couplepreneurs Live 2026 is the world's only 2-day mastermind event designed exclusively for couples in business who want to scale to 7 and 8 figures in revenue. So again, this is if you're in business together or you each have separate businesses. And it's at an oceanfront resort in South Florida in April, which not that April's super cold, but it's generally rainy and cold in other places.
Yeah.
So it's at an oceanfront resort in April. And again, we have some cool room block discounts that we've gotten for you guys. So once you do join us or you register for the event, we'll send you over all the details to get some great discounts on the actual room block so you can stay at an oceanfront resort as well.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, it's a vacation on the books between you and your partner. Best case scenario, it's going to make you potentially a lot of money. I mean, you heard here even with Steven, you're going to get access to the 8-figure AI toolkit. You're going to see how that works and get some ideas for how you can customize that to your business. But we're also going to be covering things at this event that nobody else was talking about. And it's why we specifically created Couplepreneurs Live 2026. Do you want to share some of the other things we're going to be covering?
So you're going to learn business strategies that are designed for couples in business specifically. So how to create, how to align on your visions together and how to then create a business growth plan that, like Steven said, designs the business around your life versus trying to fit your life into the pockets around the business, right? We're also going to help you put the right team in place so you can free up more time together. Steven is going to help you put some of that AI team in place so you can free up more time together, as well as do so at a lower risk, right? As well as putting the right tools in place and systems to make sure that your business can grow quickly without you being the bottleneck, right? Now, that's on the business side. Again, this is very unique because if you're a couple in business, chances are you know that you're a little bit different than just solopreneurs who are out there running a business by themselves, right? You have to learn how to work together. And so we're also going to cover relationship strategies that are designed for couples in business where you can refine both of your roles at scale. So as the business grows, your roles shift a little bit. How do you actually refine what you and your partner are doing together so you're not overlapping? How you can communicate effectively together, even if you have wildly different personalities, how to align your visions for the future as you grow, as well as just putting yourself in the room with other entrepreneur couples who actually get you, who have been where you are, and many of which, like Steven, have been there, done that, and are at a place now that they can kind of put down a hand and pull you up as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was just going to say, like, if you're considering coming, especially because today is the deadline to do so at a discount, the simple question to ask yourself is this: how much could this be worth for our business in 2026? How much could it be worth to get access to AI tools that have successfully grown an 8-figure company? How much would it be worth for you and your partner to get into an inspiring environment surrounded by other 7-figure and 8-figure entrepreneurs that understand what it's like to be a couple and strategically align on things that you and your partner know you needed to align on, but you haven't made time for up until this point? If that could be worth, you know, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000, even $100,000 for you, then the ticket price is a drop in the bucket. Like it's an absolute steal. And if you want to see what the ticket prices are, if you want to check out the events, you want to see what's all entailed, just type the word event, EVENT below, and make sure you grab your ticket today. Because if you see that page and you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds awesome, I believe this is going to make a difference for my business and my relationship, grab your ticket today while you can for a $200 discount. Now, if they wanted to get that discount, what do they got to do?
Comment event below and we will send you over all the details.
With a keyword that you could apply the checkout to take $200 off. So it's going to be pretty cool. Steven, what do you think someone should do if they're thinking about coming to Couplepreneurs Live, but they haven't made the decision yet? They haven't pulled the trigger. What would you say to maybe encourage them?
Dude, I'm like just hearing this. I'm like, dang, this sounds so awesome. Like, I wish we had this. Me and Chelsea had to figure all this out the hard way. It's funny though. Like, we had a podcast. We had these guys on our podcast. We talked to a lot of couples, and it's so interesting. Like, couples in business figure out these things eventually. It's either you figure it out the easy way or you figure it out the hard way. And so we in Chelsea went the hard way. These guys probably went the hard way. We've of course had mentors in our life and people that have helped accelerate things. But this is the easy way. It's like just get in a room. And I mean, I'll tell you one story. I'm a big believer in investing in ourselves and our marriage. And I mean, I could probably list 15 events or masterminds that were a stretch to get into, that there was an incredible ROI in the business or relationship because we were in the room. And I remember one specifically being at this like little round table. You know, they had these round tables and other entrepreneurs at the room. And I remember just like, I'm like geeking out. I got my big old pad of paper, taking notes. And I like look over at Chelsea, like, and she's got tears in her eyes. And I remember thinking like, oh shoot, like, what happened? Like, did she get a text or like, I don't know, like what's going on? So I'm like, babe, what's going on? And she looked at me and she, with tears in her eyes, said like, I can't believe we like almost didn't come to this, you know, like I'm so grateful we're here. And it was just one of those moments, like it was a scary thing for us at the time to invest, to get in the room. And this was a big investment to get in the room. I think this one is pretty reasonable to come to this event. So come to this event. But I remember like it was scary for us to get in that room, to travel. And maybe I'm speaking to you in the room. Maybe it is a scary season in business right now. You don't know the future. It's hard to plan out to April already, but put some hope on the calendar and get in the room, because like the power of being in the room and just getting out of your rhythm. You never know who you're going to meet. I remember at that same event, we met someone that literally that person within the next year made our business $250,000 extra. Like just that one relationship. And then that went to another relationship that got us on this big podcast. And like even in the intense season of business where we were just hitting thing after thing, the people that surrounded us were people we met at events like this. So I just telling you, the power of getting in the room, there's nothing like it. So comment the word event below. Yeah. And, some human will send it to you, you know, for now, you know, we'll build an AI agent to send it to you in the future, but
there you go. Yeah. For now, everyone, you're going to be interacting when you comment event below. They're human. So if you see our assistant Kayla, yeah, she is a human, and Kayla, we're not going to replace you, I promise. But yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly, because Ariel and I have experienced the same thing. Like, you know, our entire life has changed when we got in the right rooms and we met the right people. I mean, shoot, I think Steven, we even met you.
We met you
at an event, right? Like, it's funny how this all works, right? So
that's so true.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening, I will just end with this. There's a reason, although we can't take credit for this, we give God all the glory for it. I still believe there's a reason why we've had couples come to this event when we held this in the past and said that this one event did more for their relationship and business than months, if not years, of coaching and therapy and counseling combined. Yeah. And I think the reason why is because we have discussions that kind of fill in the gaps that are left behind from all these other events that maybe we've been a part of. I know everyone that's listening, you probably are where you are because you invested in growth. So you've probably been at other masterminds, you've probably been at other events, but there's just one missing piece. And that missing piece is, how do we do this and align on these strategic decisions as a couple in business? Because those are conversations that are not held anywhere else and not being had anywhere else. We are going to be having that conversation in the room while, as you can see, strategically integrating the right strategies and tools to scale your business to the next level. Worst case scenario, you get a nice vacation. Best case scenario, you could be like all the other entrepreneur couples who have come before you and have came to this event, who have left 10 times better and have told us that with tears in their own eyes that this has been the best event they've ever gone to. So we're so grateful and so honored to hold that. We're so grateful and honored to have you, Steven, who's going to be rocking the stage at Couplepreneurs Live. Thank you also today for sharing all your wisdom with our audience. We're so pumped to see you. And everybody, make sure you comment the word event below if you want to grab your ticket and see Steven in person, where he's going to be helping you customize some of these for your business. Cool. Yep. All right, y'all.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We will see you very soon, hopefully at the event.